What's up, guys? This is just a fun little video, nothing too in-depth, just a little tour of my bathroom, some of the woodwork that I've done. And this is my mirror. As you can see, there is a compasses in the lower right corner, and above it is the biblical figure Abel with his shepherd's staff, and he's pointing up as a representation of the spiritual symbol in the biblical story of Cain and Abel, and the moon in the right-hand corner as a symbol of the divine feminine, and the classical ancient Egyptian wing style depiction of the as we have here, the blade and the chalice, the two poles, right? Now, in the center there, of those two poles, the chalice and the blade, I know a lot of people never notice that there is the outline of a cube. And basically that is in reference to the perfect ashlar. And, you use those two male and female hemispheres to work with and create and allow to work together to create something special, that perfect ashlar that is us, that is within us. There's the sun, obviously, the divine masculine, and here is Cain, the counterpart to Abel, and he is pointing down, and he's holding his flail, He's a farmer, a worker of the earth. He is the earthly, material symbol in that story of Cain and Abel. But these are just symbols and depictions. Also a square in the corner. That is that's the blade, obviously, pointing up in reference to the masculine. That is a bone of a deer hip, and this just simply says holiness to the Lord, in reference to other symbolic meanings. There is the chalice, the feminine symbol made from deer bone. Thought that was kind of neat. But these are things that, you can do fairly cheap. This wood was all, it was scrap wood that I brought home from where I work. But, you can find, basically the material is plentiful, basically, behind, some of the plants and things. If you just look around, there is the E for the east, depiction of the moon and the sun, the feminine and the masculine, as above there. And as you go down to the floor, so below, and it has the blade and the chalice. But it's important, I think, to surround yourself with symbols that mean something to you and remind you of something greater than yourself. There's the east again, the E for east. I didn't understand what those two lines on the side of the circle was until I became a Mason, and I was introduced to the Holy Saints John. And actually, it's pronounced saints, plural. That says travel, but it's plural, Holy Saints John. There's actually, two Johns that it's referring to there, but it's really not about those figures. It's about what they represent. It's about they're kind of opposite parallels in a sense. They're kind of part of the one thing. You have the one of the Johns, refer to the law, right? The works, the material, the physical plane, and then the other John was the teacher of the spiritual aspect of the religion of Christianity. And so you have those two paralleling each other in this physical realm, working together. And here's a basic, it's a pyramid with the capstone, all-seeing eye, and the Ouroboros, as it's called, and with the biblical verse Genesis 3:22 that states that where they say that the man has become as one of us, knowing good from evil. That's, I have a square and the compasses in all the corners there, decorating the corners of the trim. And this was just some stones. I put some inlays and some trim. I thought it was appealing to the eye. And here is a serpent I made for my shower door. The shower was, I made it out of the doors out of metal roofing, and I just spray painted it with a hammered copper. It's nothing special. It's just, it was fairly cheap and just took a little creativity, but you guys can do this. Carpe diem, seize the day in Latin, right? And the alpha and omega in stone. I figure we spend a lot of time, we go to the restroom, bathroom quite often, right? So, we need to surround ourselves with images that, remind us of something important and invoke a feeling and a certain sense of self. And that's obviously there's the sun and a star and the moons in the corners, and the pillars wrapped with serpents. It's said that the pillars are actually contain memories and experiences, and the serpents are also sometimes referred to have to do with creation. So sometimes our experiences and our ideas and things that we have in pillars, they can be used to create and to move forward. But this is it's basically my rendering of a Masonic tracing board. And what I've done was I took some different pieces and parts of tracing boards. There's several of them, and I took what I liked from them and I put them into this one for me to personalize it. And it's a basic, it's a representation of the 3 degrees, the 3 realms of progression. And on the bottom, the tassels around the board to symbolize God's presence everywhere. But the lower part is the grave, it's the dead, it's the spiritually dead, the people that have no clue. You have the steps going up, obviously, getting closer to God, insinuates going up. And then you have the checkered, black and white checkered floor for the good and the evil, the opposites that make up this physical realm. And if you look at these pillars here, you have the beauty pillar that's a little bit more intricate than the one for strength there. But it's also the Boaz and the Jachin pillars, the finger pointing to the Bible, referencing faith, and then the anchor is a symbol of hope, and then the chalice at the top of the ladder is for charity, and the initiate going up the ladder carrying a string with a key on the bottom of it, and the key can symbolize care. And so care is dangling by a thread, right? And so obviously the feminine symbol of the moon and the sun, and the 2 hemispheres of the mind, the self, and the keystone is missing. It has been worked out with the tools that are up there. You have put in the work and you've let the light in. You no longer need you do not need a keystone or that great symbol or thing. It has been removed by your work and your intellect and your experience. This is, if you notice those leaves, there's 12 of them. I put 12 leaves there, and those symbolize the 12 disciples, which can symbolize you, because each of us have a zodiac sign. We are one of the 12. Obviously a square and a compass. That's just that's an event It's a little dusty. But anyways, it's just it's all about the self, you know. It is about your place in the world. And here is my toilet seat, and it's got some hermetic symbolism there. The Kundalini going up, right? The left and the right working together to create divine energy, eternal intercourse, as I like to call it, between the two male and female hemispheres. The moon cycles on there, the sun cycles, and at the top of the staff, the hermetic staff, there are the wings once again, where it all comes together and perfect balance is met through the intercourse. And the leaves and the vines are the representation of life. And I made this trash can. It's just a bunch of strips of wood with 3 rings, and I put that together. I thought that was kind of neat. Now these doors here with the leaves on them, little tiny leaves, I placed those all on polyurethane, and then I painted over them with polyurethane to keep the oxygen away from them. Hopefully they last a little while. And the sink here, basically, I put together with 2x4s. I sliced up 1/4-inch pieces from 2x4s and glued them all onto boards and put them together. But anyways, this is stuff that you can do. It's just simple idea.